Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. Now we get into family matters, today being a Monday. And it's the aspect of ageless unions. Today we are talking about age in marriage. And the question of the day is, does age really matter in marriage? What do you think? Does age really matter in marriage? The whole aspect of age is just a number. Does it hold water? You can be part of this conversation by sending us your SMS, WhatsApp, via WhatsApp. That is through the number 0716 103 301, 0716 103 301. And we shall be sampling some of your comments as the show progresses. Reverend Bernard Akama is a senior pastor, Sound of Abundance Church, and joins us on Good Morning Kenya to talk about this. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
And also Emma Karitu, who is a family pastor and also counseling psychologist and mental health coach. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes. And I want to get, first of all, your view on this. And let me start with you, Reverend Akama.
Yes.
Does age really matter in a marriage?
According to me, no, it doesn't matter.
Why?
It doesn't matter because for me, it depends with who is marrying who and who is older than who. I believe a 20-year-old lady can handle a 50-year-old man.
Really?
Yes, but a 50-year-old man cannot, a 20-year-old man cannot handle a 50-year-old woman. Is it making sense?
make it make sense.
Like you see, women mature faster than men.
Yeah. Men mature according to age. A 23-year-old thinks like a 23-year-old. But that's in the concept of men. But in the concept of a woman or a lady who's 23 or 22 can handle marriage well or can handle relationship better than a 23-year-old man because women mature faster. So for me, age doesn't matter at all. It depends with what are you looking for? What do you want? And have you found a person who is meeting your preference, what you want? Because there are men who are focused, who are mature, and they know what they are looking for and what they want. And ladies of their age group are not in the sphere where they want to or cannot tackle what they're looking for. So what they do, they will go for an older lady who is more settled, more mature, more focused, more visionary, like what they're looking for. So they will prefer going for a mature woman than a single lady. Yes. Pastor Emma,
yes,
what do you think about all this? And do you concur with whatever Pastor Bernard is saying? But your perspective first. Does age really matter in a marriage?
For me, age doesn't matter. Age is just a number. And you're as young as you feel, you're as old as you feel. So I agree with the Reverend that indeed age doesn't matter, but it depends on the two coming together. But it matters if somebody has a problem with the age, it can't work. But if the two of them come together and they say it doesn't matter the age difference, there's a connection between us. There's something that is bringing them together. Maybe their value system, their faith. What is it that is bringing them together? So for me, it doesn't really matter because people are different. Personalities come into play. The way somebody has been raised up comes into play, but it still bottles down to the two of them on what they really want in that relationship. So I think the most important thing is to address the why. Why am I marrying this person, or why am I getting married to this person? In fact, for us at ICC Church, I serve at ICC Church, ICC Nairobi. For us, before even we engage people for the premarital counseling classes, because you have to go through marriage is not a joke. You have to be prepared for marriage. So when you take people through premarital classes, the first thing that we do, we interview. And of course, there's a form that they fill, and in that form, they fill their ages. And when you see the age difference, we ask them, what are your thoughts about this man being older than you or this lady being older than you, just to get, and even tell them like how will that play in your marriage. So for me, age really doesn't matter. It's the two people coming together and why and what is bringing them together. Yes.
Could you say age is a preference of,
yes,
of
it's
an
a
individual?
personal choice. You see, like 3 months ago, I had and it's not only age, every other element or aspect of marriage. 3 months ago, I had a couple who were planning to join our Prima class, and the guy had a son, but the lady, for the lady, her checklist for marriage, she wanted somebody who doesn't have a child. But for another man or another lady, it doesn't matter if you have a child and I love you, I will love you as a package because you're coming in with that child. Same thing. There's somebody who will say categorically, I've encountered all manner of people in my practice, and I've encountered people who say, for me, I can never get married to a younger man, or I can never get married to an older man who looks like my dad. For some, they say it's okay. For me, age is just a number. So it's a very personal preference. And for sure, if you feel you can't get married to a person who has an age difference with you, you shouldn't get married in the first place. So it's a personal choice. Yes, it's a very personal choice. It's a preference, a personal, an individual's preference. Yes.
Pastor Kama, when you look at societal norms and cultural practices, why do you think most of them do gravitate towards the man being older? Does the age factor contribute to success or lack thereof in that union?
It does. It does. You see, for example, let me give this scenario. You'll find most ladies who want to settle down, you find there's always pressure on the lady on when to marry. So I would say ladies have like a time limit. And so what happens, you'll find like, because probably I want by this time to be married, to have kids. For men, at 60, you can still get children. But you find there could be some sort of limitation to the lady. So what happens, you find the lady who feels, I want to get married, I want to settle, maybe at the age of 30 or 35, and you find there's a man at that age who is not ready. So what will happen, most of the time, you'll find this kind of lady will go for a man who is maturer on this aspect. And the man that can take care of that lady who's at that age, most of them are married. So one, they have the maturity whereby they have handled, they're handling their families. They know responsibility, how to handle responsibility. So what happens, this kind of ladies have a tendency of falling on those men, on the preference of this one, can handle me because if he can handle his home, if he can handle his family, then he can handle me.
But isn't that going against the very tenets of marriage? And if, let's say for instance, is their preference, they're wrecking an already existing union?
That's true. Let me tell you, I do a lot of counseling weekly, right? Give or take minimum between 20 to 30 in a week. What happens is this, I've discovered most men have other women outside. Not because they want to, it's because they found themselves.
Explain that. Explain that.
Like
you
that.
find yourself.
You find yourself. What happens is this.
Yes.
A man is married and is having some issues at home, for example. And then he has a colleague who is very nice and very tender to him, understands him, knows what he needs, and he gets a bit of refuge, a bit of peace. Because one thing that people must understand, that men don't go for love. Men don't know the language of love.
Exactly.
Men go for respect and peace. Matter of fact, when a man has peace, he can give his life. So because the pressure outside there, the world is beating the man down. He comes home, he wants peace. Then he comes home and finds this woman who does not know the language of peace. But now he goes back to the office or goes out and he meets this woman who knows how to give him peace, knows how to give him respect, knows how to handle him. Because I usually say men are small babies, men are big babies. So when he's outside there and there's this lady who can handle him well, what happens? Affair begins. By the virtue of she understands me. When I talk, she listens. She gives me the peace I'm looking for. So what happens is he ends up in the hands of another woman. He goes home, but here's somewhere he gets his peace. So what happens? Affair has begun. And that lady does not want also pressure because he knows you're married and I respect that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of you as you take care of me. You pay my bills, I take care of you, I give you a peace. That's where our affairs begin. Most men find themselves. I was looking for peace, I got it.
But that sounds transactional.
It is
Exactly.
transactional. It is transactional.
Exactly. Is that really marriage?
That's not marriage. That's what I'm saying.
not marriage.
Most men today, most men are married, but they have somebody else who gives them what they can't get home.
But then again, whose responsibility is it for them to create that, whatever they are lacking, that environment? Whose responsibility it is?
You see, marriage is a two-way traffic. Marriage is you play your part, I play my part. It takes two to tango. So a man will do his best, but the question is this: am I getting? Is my partner reciprocating the same effect? For example, a man provides and he comes home and told you come late, and there's a quarrel. What will you do? You look for solace somewhere else.
But does age have to do with anything?
Age,
when it
yes.
comes to the how?
Yes, age is very key here. You see, as I'm saying, younger ladies who don't understand the dynamics of marriage, what they're looking for, what a lady is looking for in marriage is totally different from what the man is looking for. When a man gets married, he wants a place of rest. In short, the man is making progress. Marriage is part of a man's progress. But for ladies, it's not so, it's not the same. So you will find a man who is, give or take, 35 years or 40. He has some goals. By this age, I should be here. By this time, I should be married. By this time, I should be having kids. By this time, I'm done. Now he has come home, and then this young lady wants us, let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's do this. That's why you find I've come to realize an older woman is more mature. There are ladies who wants to settle. All they want is just to have a family. That's all. So if they meet this guy who wants also to settle and is a bit younger and is focused and is visionary, to settle, and you'll find more peace in that union than this young marriage for young people. He has a tendency of finding more rest marrying a mature, more older woman.
Okay.
Yes.
Take for instance, Pastor Emma, a difference of 5 to 10 years. How do you blend these two personalities and make sure that if they're getting into marriage or they're in marriage, that this will work?
Thank you for that question. I think for me, how I would look at it is awareness. You see, if I'm aware that I'm getting married to a 5-year younger person than me, or 5-year older, depending on who is who, and I'm aware, like in psychology, we normally say the executive part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, matures between age 15 and 29. And after, actually 25 to 29. So within that time, they think a lot, they use a lot of the emotional part of the brain. So if I'm aware, like maybe we've wedded couples who are in their early 20s, and if you are aware that this person is still maturing, you're coming into that marriage from a point of understanding. There are some behaviors that you will pick, and if you are aware, you will know where that behavior is coming from. So if you are aware of the person you're getting married to and the stage that they're in, it becomes easier to do marriage. Lack of knowledge is what makes us perish, because let me throw the spanner in the works. Our parents, my mom got married at 21, and my dad was 23. They were still very, very young. I don't think by that time all this research had been done about the brain development and all that, by the intentionality, like we want to start a family together. Yeah. So if they work it out, the most important thing is the commitment, the intentionality. Why am I getting married? You see, like Reverend has shared, and I know he's sharing from the experiences that he meets in the counseling room. If I decided to marry my husband, why should I, when you have a conflict, that which is saying like men want peace? Yes, I am aware you want peace, but I think it is a responsibility also of the man to sit down with the wife and discuss, in this area, I think we need to work this out, because going out doesn't justify. And is that really marriage? Because I believe marriage is a covenant. And a covenant is where you're coming in with your whole, this other person comes with their whole, then you work things out together. I always tell couples, me, I have brothers and sisters, one mother, one father, same blood, yeah? And we have conflict. So what makes me think that a stranger I've just met in my 20s or 30s and say I do, like there's something that has attracted me to them, who says that the conflicts will not be there? Definitely, in marriage, conflicts will always be there. But the most important thing is, how do we handle them? So for me, age doesn't really matter if you understand. And you have a discussion. The foundation has to be very strong. At foundational level, you say, you know, this is my age, this is my age. Be open about literally everything. That will help the marriage, so that even when somebody, and then also background issues. It's not only age. There are so many factors that affect marriage, like background issues. Maybe somebody is coming in with issues from the background. Maybe the first school of marriage you all see is the marriages of our parents. So that is the only way you know marriage is. But if you get knowledge and understand, how do we handle our financial management? How do you handle intimacy? How do you handle conflict? How do you handle in-laws? How do we handle communication in marriage? If you have that foundational element and you've laid down the right foundation, when all these storms will come, you will not run there to a woman or to another man who will, that emotional attachment. And that's why we all have to play our role in marriage. If I've gone to the salon on Saturday and my hair looks nice, it's my husband should tell me, hey babes, today you look nice. But if he doesn't say that because you had a domain, then I go I come here to KBC, maybe say, or you go to the office, your colleague tells you. That's how infidelity starts. It doesn't just happen like this. It's
the small things.
It's the small little things that we really need to handle in our marriages. So for me, age doesn't matter, but the two have to be in agreement.
Yes.
That this thing has to work.
Whatever you're saying is, I think it's bringing more of matters to do with emotional maturity between the two couples, regardless of age. How do they handle that? Remember, you can be part of this conversation by calling us via 0716 103301, 0716 103301, and you can also send in your WhatsApp message via the same number. Pastor Ben, the aspect of emotional maturity, it's very important when you look at it from whatever Pastor Emma has said. So if there's that age gap, regardless of whether it's a man who is older or the lady is older, how should they handle that?
Let me before I talk about that, let me bring this point here. People handle things differently. And that's one concept that every party must understand. In marriage, there's a way men handle issues.
Yes.
Men are not species whereby they will sit down and they give you a map. They draw, oh, men are straight to the point. Most men tend to avoid long conversations, prolonged problems. There are ladies who want detailed, we handle things in details. That's what most of the time you'll find men get tired and they leave, and the conflict is not handled. That is why for me, if you marry somebody who is mature mentally, they will know how this person handles the problem. Because most men don't have the tenacity to sit down for 1 hour, discuss about yesterday you came late, or your mom came here and this is what happened. Men will give you concluded answers, as in concluded, I'm sorry, I did this, done. Ladies want, okay, tell me why you're sorry. Sorry from where? So, and then they'll tell you, don't tell me sorry fast.
Yes.
Explain your sorry.
Explain yourself.
So the moment we start, then men have this tendency, we start arguing, they shut down.
Yeah.
So emotional maturity is very key. That's why for me, I don't advocate for people to go out of the relationship, but you'll find most of the time, people that tend to step out, the people they talk to are slightly emotionally mature than probably the person they're living with, because the person they're living with, they don't have a system. No, this is the thing. We will not always sit down and discuss, this is how we should be doing this thing. Do you know I'm older than you, so go this way. No. When crisis has come. How do we tackle it? Now, a lady who is more mature, according to me, will know how to handle you. Because what they do, they will learn you. In marriage, you must learn me. How do I like my things done? We're having an issue on finances. How do you understand to handle it? So I gave you 2,000. What happened? I did this. Okay, we are done. So for me, emotional maturity is important, depending also with age. There are some ladies who don't have that kind of maturity. Their emotions will flare. They will be angry at anything. They want to dictate your life. And so you find a man who will feel like, here, not that way. But a lady who is more maturer for me, or a man who is more maturer, will go to details. Trust issues not be that much because I know where you're coming from. I know how I've surpassed this boy-girl game. Now we are at the level, but anything that comes, we're able to handle it with a lot of maturity on every area. We handle it. For me, age brings maturity. Somebody can easily argue something out or reason something out because of maturity.
Yes. Now, even as you talk about that, there's something I want you to comment on that, because when it comes to emotional maturities, there must be some level of understanding. But then again, whose responsibility is it the responsibility of the other partner to bring them to their level? In terms of understanding, if we're talking about emotional maturity?
What I've seen is happening in the marriage space, or rather even in relationships in general, even the young people who are dating, I've seen women getting married hoping to change this man. And I've seen men marrying these ladies hoping that this lady will not change. But the truth of the matter is that you can never change a person, and I'm saying this, if you're out there trying to change your man or your woman, you cannot. Change comes from within. It is me as Emma to decide I want to change for the betterment of this relationship. And also women change. Women change like because of the hormonal changes. A 20-year-old woman does not behave like a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old. They keep on changing because women are emotional human beings. Men, as Reverend is saying here, they are logical. So me as a woman, if I approach marriage and I want the man to behave like a woman, it can't work. Because the man will not understand. So each person has the responsibility of managing their emotions. Because I've also seen a 50-year-old with emotional outbursts. I've seen a 20-year-old very mature in how they reason. It's a personality thing, it's an upbringing thing, it's an intentional thing of who am I as Emma? Self-awareness. When I'm angry, how do I behave? When I'm confronted by an issue, how do I behave? So it also goes down to an individual. So the emotional maturity is an individual responsibility. So don't struggle, or rather what I can tell couples, don't ever struggle to try to change that person. As a pastor, I can say it's only the Holy Spirit that can change that person, or that person to make an intentional decision that the way I handle my emotions is affecting my marriage. I need to work on it. So each person has a responsibility in the marriage to work on the self for the betterment of the relationship.
Yes. Yeah, the comments have started coming in, and moja amesema, you are right, age is just a number. Hello, I'm watching from Kakamega. I'm really surprised by the Reverend comment justifying men cheating as a norm because they lack peace at home. A man is a priest. This you're going to defend yourself. Yes. A man is a priest of his home, and it is the responsibility of both parties to have a peaceful environment. This dispute of age, so when a woman lack peace, should they also cheat? Advice. They're seeking your advice. That is Irene from Kakamega. Hey, I'm Bernard from Embu. I concur with you. Age is just a number. Personally, I'm in a marriage where we have a difference of 11 years and it's working well.
Amen.
Pastor?
Yes.
There's a concern here.
Am I advocating for cheating? No. I don't. The thing is this. Why do men cheat? See, this is something that we cannot run away from. Are there men that have affairs? Are there families outside? Yes, they're there. What brought that? Very simple. It began from the concept, from the way their marriages are how they live in their homes. One of the things that is there is when you marry someone,
Yes.
or you're married to a man, the first thing you must understand is men don't want to love, or men don't know the language of love. No, men know the language of respect and peace. Men are looking not to be loved. Men are looking for peace, and men are looking for respect. Now, this is what happens. When you have a partner, let's say a wife,
Yes.
how she respects you, how she shows it, how she talks to you, how she handles you, will tell you if there's respect or not. Now, number two, men look for peace. Most men go to homes and you find there's a lot of noise, a lot of arguments, a lot of quarrels, a lot of, so many issues in their marriage in terms of the man does not find peace at home. So most men resort into going to drink or go watch football outside, not because they cannot talk, it's because these things they have tried. I'll repeat, I'm not advocating for that. I'm saying what happens, you find most men that have affairs outside, what they have gotten outside is what they are lacking inside.
But is that usually the case, really? Because there are those who are just...
have bad manners.
Yeah.
Those ones we can't lack. But most of men that are having issues, because let me give this scenario. I told you I have my counseling on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You find somebody who tells you, when I go home, my wife will start with me. When I go home, this is the issue. We've tried, I've called the family, we've tried to discuss, she's not changing. So what do? I need my peace, so I don't go home. It's not, let me say this, before somebody makes certain steps or certain moves, they have tried to work it out. So you see, for somebody to say, okay, let me do this, most of the time, they have tried systems or ways to make it work. Can it work? Yes. But the question is this, you have this person who's, for lack of better word, immature in terms of age, right? Or reasoning. So what do? You can't beat them. You don't want to break your home. So what happens?
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let's take a commercial break. I will be right back to continue from that point. Yeah, the conversation is getting heated, and comments are coming in, actually. The comments here, let me read one or two comments here. Age doesn't matter in any relationship, may it be dating or marriage. It is a matter of acceptance, self-awareness, and putting the companionship factor a key. Mwingine anasema age doesn't really matter. Actually, men look for peace. Men look for peace. I have 2 wives. I always camp where there is peace and respect. We are praying for Kenya Stars to win. Okay. Harambee Stars. Then I think we have tackled something to do with companionship in that whole aspect, regardless of age. Because given what this comment has said, even self-awareness, we have talked about it. But there's also the aspect of life experiences. Let's say, for instance, a guy is getting married. The age difference is between, let's say, 10 to 15 years. How do life differences, experiences, inform the success of that marriage? If I may start with you.
So when we look at the age differences, I know like as people age, things also come up. Like maybe sicknesses can come and the body just shutting down and all that. Or maybe one person has already retired and the other person is now at the peak of their career. But I still feel the support. You see, when marriage comes, when you come into marriage, you're coming to support one another. And maybe just to mention, as you're talking about companionship, I agree with that viewer.
Comment, yes.
I agree with that comment because when we get married, some people think we get married because of children. Children are just byproducts. They'll be of age and they will leave. So companionship is very critical, that I'm marrying this person because there's something special about them. There's something that, there's something about them that you connect, and you want to do life together. So even if there's that age difference of 10 to 15 years, yeah, and you agreed and you know and you are aware, remember I talked about awareness in the first place, yeah, that if you are aware and you discuss in depth that maybe as I get to 60 and you will be maybe in your 30s or 40s,
Yes.
these are the most likely things that will happen. So you discuss at foundational level, am I going to support you? Am I going to be, like normally we tell people in our prima class, suppose this person is in a very bad accident and they are bedridden, or they'll be using the wheelchair the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Will you still be their wife or be their husband? Because even when we talk about sickness and all that, I've seen nowadays even the sicknesses that we thought were for old people.
Yeah.
Children are getting diabetes, children are getting cancer. It's no longer determined by the age. But I think when people are cognizant of those changes that come, and I've said that I love this person and I want to spend the rest of my life with them, even when that transition season comes, I should be able to come in and support them. If it is career and I'm young, I'm the one, and you're the one who was retired, I should come in and say, I know my husband or my wife is now at the peak of their career, and I know that I've retired, but I'll come in as a support, because when you get married, it's a whole you, Mike, with your gifts, with your talents, with your ambitions, and the lady with the same thing. So it's another whole person and another whole person becoming another whole person. So even this thing of people saying, meet my better half, it's never a better half. I'm a whole person first, meeting another whole person. Then you complement one another. So there's that aspect of supporting people in the seasons that they are in their lives, especially in marriage. So I still will go back to understanding and awareness that despite the age differences, I will support my spouse in that as they grow in their age.
Yes.
Yes.
Pastor Ben, I will throw the same question to you about life experiences, because if there's a huge age difference, of course, life experiences would be different.
Yes.
But if it's like, say, 1 to 3 years, you're almost within the same age. How does that, from your perspective, play out?
I strongly believe that life experience can really help in marriage. Make an example. A lady that has ever handled a relationship before, and probably it failed, and now comes and meets a man here who wants to marry her, or they get married, she will know probably what to do when certain conflicts or issues come up, because she has been on this road before. 2, a man who has never known how to handle a woman when she's emotionally distressed, most of the time will run away. But a man who has handled a woman in that, probably his wife or probably a relationship before that didn't work, you will know this is what I did wrong and this thing broke. For me, I would say people that have gone through, who have been around for some time and experienced 1 or 2 things, have a tendency of handling a relationship differently and better than those who haven't. I'll give a scenario. I got married when I was very, 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 very young. I wasn't even up to 25. The issues we faced the first 5 years were enough to break that marriage. But you see now, as we matured and we lived for long, there are some issues now, even if it comes up, we laugh them through. Because now we know how to handle them. It's a terrain we have passed through. So we know how to navigate through them. So for me, people, age and life experience plays a very, very major role, you see, in relationships and marriages. That's why I say, when you marry someone who is a bit older, or somebody who is more maturer, you have a tendency of having a more solid relationship. So very solid.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to add on to
I
that?
want to add something there. Yes, you can go through life experiences, but if you don't address them, chances are it becomes a cycle.
Yeah.
I've seen people go into their first marriage, second marriage, third marriage, yeah? But because they did not handle the issue, it still trickles down. So I think it's important to seek help. If you need to go for counseling, if you need to go for mentorship, just seek help, because if you don't do that, your experiences may become a cycle. And also life experiences also in terms of how you are raised up, how your you're raised, the environment that you grew up in. So it still goes back to, if you are aware of all that, as you get married, the age difference will not matter. You can still marry your age mate. You've talked about maybe 1 year or 2 years difference. If you still have issues and you even age mates, it will still affect the marriage.
Yes.
As opposed to someone, maybe they have an age difference of 15 years, but they are self-aware and have worked on themselves and is able to go into that marriage a healthy person. Because I believe marriages have no issues. People come with baggages from their background, from their past relationships, past experiences, life experiences. But if you're able to handle all that, it will be easier to maneuver or navigate marriage together.
So there's the aspect of introspection for either partners.
Yes.
The comments are still coming in, and let me sample some of them. Good morning, my name is Kagari Dennis, watching from Mwihoko, Kiambu. On today's topic, age in marriage really doesn't matter much. If there's mutual respect, love, and understanding, marrying an older woman often brings maturity and emotional stability and clear communication, which can make the relationship stronger. It's all about connection, not the age. Good morning. Don't mention my name, please. Pastor, is true. Women have issues to handle their house chores. I come to help her cook. I do almost everything in the house. And on top of that, matusi na maneno chafu chafu ya sio jenga boma. Every time I come home within 30 minutes, maneno imeanza, siwezi vumilia hiyo after going through my daily work with frustration out to our working places. Hello, I'm James from Nairobi, Saika. As for age, doesn't really matter. As long as there's respect, peace in the marriage, and everyone is capable of solving issues in their marriage. In most cases, older women are more mature than younger women. You know, from these comments, you can tell that age really is not a factor. What do you think has informed this, what I would call gravitated towards respect, things that matter, and age losing that quote-unquote meaning in unions nowadays?
I think what has contributed also is maybe the societal pressure in terms of, okay, people have said age doesn't matter, but there is also societal pressure if you marry a younger or an older person. But also now going back to your question, in terms of what has contributed, it's because of the way men are wired. Men are wired so differently. Yes. Women are also wired very differently. So unless there is that understanding by me as a woman and say, what is it that a man is looking for? A man is looking for respect. A man is looking for submission. A man is looking for peace. What does peace look like for my husband? Because peace for my husband is not your peace. They're different. Yes. The way your respect and his respect, because it's a very personal thing. Like maybe respect to my husband is maybe don't embarrass me in public, or but for you, respect is something else. Yesterday we had a visiting pastor from the US, and he was saying he's the one who goes to the kitchen. He's the one who cooks. The wife doesn't cook. But to someone else, you respect me if you're cooking for me and if you're serving me. So it's a very personal thing. So if a man can understand that a woman needs to be loved. And you see, even the Bible, I'll bring in scripture in the book of Ephesians. The Bible says men should love their wives and women should respect their husbands. The most difficult thing for a man to do is to love. And we get this even in our classes. Somebody says, my father has never told me that I love you. He's an African father. He's never told me I love you. So you're telling me to tell my wife every day that I love you. The fact that I've married her and I didn't marry any other, ama nimemletea nyama kwa nyumba, nimempeleka out, that is love. But as a woman, I want to hear, baby, I love you. Okay. Maybe my love language is touch. Yes. So it's the role of a man now to understand the wife. How does love look for my wife? Okay. And then for the women out there, and even myself, how does respect look to my husband? Because it's very hard for a woman also to respect and submit. But they have to learn it. So life is about learning. So if I understand how to respect, and if he understands how to love, it becomes easier for both of them. They meet somewhere. Yeah. Yes. We are out of time, but I want to give you each 30 seconds to give your closing remarks regarding this matter. Let me start with you, Pastor Ben.
Thank you. What I would say is marriage works if you work it. That's one. Number two, if you know what you're looking for in marriage, then it will work. You must learn your partner. You must know your partner. you must know what they don't like. Like, there are things, if you tell a man, there's a way they will shut down. So I agree with Pastor that you need to understand what is the language of this person. Every woman must understand the man, and the man must understand the woman. When do we talk about this? How do we handle this? When those things happen, you'll have a very seamless, flawless relationship. Age is not a factor for me. What you need to know how to respect and how to love the person, and also learn how to handle the person, and the thing will work.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So for me, in closing, what I can say is that age is just a number, but as you're dating or as you're planning to get married, discuss it, yeah? Because, and also, there is nowhere where it will be written on your forehead, Emma is 10 years older than, or Mike is 10 years, it will not be written. I think the only places where we have age, like as a family pastor, I do weddings. Yes. So when we process the marriage certificates from Sharia House, that is the only place I see the ages. But every other person out there, so it's a very personal thing. So if your spouse is comfortable, you discussing about your age difference, it's okay. If they are not, respect and honor one another. Yes. But also seek help. Don't justify going out there, whether you're a lady or a man, don't justify. Seek help and be able to remember the why. Why did I marry this person? Why am I in this relationship? When you understand the why, you'll work it out. So work out your marriages. It's a beautiful thing, as Reverend has said, and it's the only relationship that is it should be unconditional. I'm not marrying you because of this, but it's an unconditional thing. Okay. So seek help if you need to seek help, but discuss. And if you feel like I can't marry an older person, it is okay. Yeah. It's a personal decision. Yes. Yes.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Pastor Emma and Pastor Bernard, for coming to talk about this very important issue, especially when it comes to union of marriage, or the institution of marriage. And also, thank you to you, viewer, for keeping it KBC, keeping it Good Morning Kenya, and sending in your views regarding this conversation. This is where Good Morning Kenya wraps up the events of today. Let's see you again tomorrow morning on this same channel. My name is Mike Migwe. On behalf of my colleagues, have yourself a great morning.